Hey, what's up? We got a new Battlefield 6 community update to talk about. This time, they're talking about the latest upcoming updates ahead of the brand new patch called Winter Offensive. This is coming out on December 9th. Unfortunately, we don't have the actual full patch notes, so I'm going to have to do another video on the same topic later. But, you know, I still appreciate the communication on their front. I do like the multiple community updates, and I think you guys do as well. I've seen some community sentiment that the communication is certainly a lot better. So let's get going over this stuff. If you enjoy the channel, hit the sub button, hit the like button, and of course swing by the streams. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders and this YouTube channel. And don't forget, guys, I'm playing in a $650,000 Red Second Gauntlet Battlefield 6 tournament on December 10th. I will be live streaming it, and it's going to be insane. So hope you guys enjoy. The first section of this community update, they simply go over the things they've already done. So they mentioned they changed some things to do with escalation. They messed with the capture of time and escalation, all that sort of stuff. They had some challenge changes to requirements. They made that big community post about the anti-cheat, stating that roughly 2% of games have one cheater in it, but they blocked apparently millions of cheating attempts, which is crazy to think about. Millions upon millions of people sat down to play the first new Battlefield game in 4 years, and they said, well, let me download cheats. I mean, it's just crazy. Like... I'll just never be able to wrap my head around that many people just wanting to immediately cheat in a game. After that, they detail the things that are coming in Winter Offensive, which is the update coming out on December 9th. They will be posting full patch notes, as I mentioned previously, but some of the highlights of this update are, number one, audio improvements, and they elaborate on the audio improvements they are going to try to make. They said that they have made a broad set of audio improvements, including better prioritization of important combat and vehicle sounds, comprehensive pass on footsteps to improve clarity, distance definition, and positional awareness, and they've also continued to work on performance and memory loss issues that could cause sounds to essentially completely disappear. This issue was mentioned previously, and man, I sure hope and pray they fix it, because if you were here for the stream today, oh boy, I had a wonderful time playing Battlefield 6 today. The audio definitely didn't piss me off. I certainly hope they one-shot fixing the audio. I want to hear footsteps more than ever. I mean, I've never had a game where I want to hear footsteps more, put it that way. The next thing they go over have to do with specific modes within Battlefield 6, some fan-favorite modes as well. They talk about Rush and Breakthrough. They're going to be making some pretty comprehensive changes, and they said they're making updates focused on improving attacker flow, reducing defender oversaturation, and tightening clarity around objectives. And their goal is to make each push feel more readable, fair, and momentum-based without undermining strong defensive play. They go on to say that in Breakthrough, capture volumes and vehicle availability have been updated across several maps, and these changes are guided by, apparently, our feedback and internal data. They always have to fit the data in there. They go on to give one example. Siege of Cairo features an additional attacker tank on Sectors 1 and Sector number 3, along with updated capture area on B to give the attackers a clearer foothold. I'm happy they're doing this because some objectives, just the way the capture area is outlined, it doesn't feel like there's a good place to actually sit. It always feels like you need a ton of smoke, or you need the baby gate, or you just need an overwhelming amount of teammates to sort of get that area around you. It doesn't feel like there's a good, well, foothold, as they said, to actually capture the point. In Rush, apparently MCOM locations on Manhattan Bridge and Liberation Peak have been adjusted, and across both Breakthrough and Rush, multiple capture zones have been completely reshaped or clarified so players understand more clearly where to contest or defend. All of these changes aim to reduce bottlenecks, remove frustrating points on the map, and create more consistent and engaging fights around gameplay objectives. The next few things they changed have to do with quality of life improvements across UI, minimap behavior, controller aiming responsiveness, and more things that will apparently be detailed in the full patch notes. So some cool things there they mentioned, but the big one for me, or at least one of the big ones, is the changes they're making to Battlefield 6's combat systems, namely hit registration and netcode. They say they're continuing to build on their work to make hit registration feel consistent, reliable, and predictable. With this update, they have improved how, quote, bullet trajectories are aligned in fast-paced situations, including cases where shots are fired while transitioning into a zoom. These improvements correct inconsistencies that could affect hit registration and the readability of where your shots were landing. Let's read in between the lines of this statement. So, they mentioned improving how bullet trajectories are aligned in fast-paced situations. The only thing I can think of is they're going to try to make it so when you aim down sights, your weapon's sight reaches the screen center more quickly, meaning there is less of a chance of you firing too early when the sight is below your screen center, therefore you miss shots that you thought you would hit. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. We do have to see what the patch notes say about this change, and I do hope they go into detail. I don't like when they have changes like this that are very important. They seem small, but they're very important, and then they don't go ahead and elaborate on what they actually changed with the game. I want to know everything, okay? Like, I want to know all the things you're doing with the gunplay, all the things you're doing with the mechanics, so I hope they elaborate on this. Another huge thing they're doing in this upcoming update on December 9th is they have tightened the clarity of damage feedback so that health UI changes and damage cues feel more immediate and easier to understand during combat. This basically means when you get shot and lose health, you're going to be able to tell earlier, which means you can probably make decisions faster and maybe survive in situations that you wouldn't have previously. Again, seemingly a small change, we're talking about windows that are potentially 10 milliseconds or 20 milliseconds wide of you noticing you took damage, but again, sometimes that stuff can actually matter a lot. Next up is soldier visibility. This has been a massive topic of conversation, especially with my channel. Visibility in this game, well, it just sucks, quite frankly. It's just shit. So they said development is also ongoing to further enhance soldier visibility and to make combat readability feel sharp and intuitive across all environments. In this update, we have refined how visibility effects activate at close range so that soldiers stand out more clearly in darker or low contrast areas. We've also updated prone animations to include more subtle movement, improving the ability to spot soldiers using low profile positions. We're also looking ahead at broader improvements to lighting and exposure, especially in indoor versus outdoor transitions, and how characters read against complex environments. Honestly, I don't know how much room they have to really improve visibility. I understand the color grading isn't that great, the lighting effects aren't that great. Definitely indoor versus outdoor transitions, which they just mentioned, are very, very bad. So I guess we'll just have to see how much room for improvement visibility really has. I hope, again, they one-shot these changes and we can see people a little easier. Next up in the things being addressed in this update is weapon adjustments. Weapon feel and readability are always top priority for the team, they say. This update includes wide-ranging improvements to weapon handling, including fixes to first shot accuracy, attachment behavior, and tuning across various recoil patterns and weapon categories. These changes aim to deliver more predictable and consistent weapon performance in active combat. We will continue to refine weapon behavior based on live data and player feedback, with additional adjustments ready in development for future updates. Again, I really hope they elaborate on exactly what they mean, and maybe even provide some before and after examples, maybe with some specific weapons, because I think a lot of the time in these updates, they intentionally vaguely word things so that people perhaps understand it better, but what ends up happening is it just leaves people confused about what they specifically really changed in the game. And the last little paragraph they cover here is they just expand on ongoing work and future improvements that will be coming to Battlefield 6. They're actively exploring several areas aimed at improving clarity, responsiveness, and fairness in combat. This apparently includes further work on edge cases related to hit registration, investigating rare desync scenarios with destructible objects, and gathering deeper data on situations where players feel they were eliminated after reaching cover. I will round out this video with maybe a controversial statement, but I don't think it's controversial at all. In fact, I think I'm actually 100% right, and I've put in a ton of hours, more than most people in this game. I don't think people are ready for the conversation about what was really wrong with Battlefield 6. Obviously, all of these improvements are great. I would like fix the netcode, fix the audio, fix the visibility, balance the weapons, do whatever you have to do. Those situations are obvious. But I think a lot of other obvious problems that should be talked about are being glossed over and not even considered to be issues at all. And I really feel as though you could make Battlefield 6 a 50% better game by just making it take a little more skill. Yeah, Battlefield 6's skill gap is the biggest problem in the game. Battlefield 6 doesn't really take any skill, and you cannot say the same for the previous games in the franchise. I know some people are going to be, you know, they're going to hear the word skill gap, they're going to hear the word skill and write some fucking bullshit paragraph about, oh, Enders wants to make this game COD, Enders this, Enders that. But those people are idiots. I'm just going to be straight up. Battlefield 6's skill gap is tiny. It is absolutely minute. And it is the root cause for why a lot of people feel as though they can't really do much in Battlefield 6. It's because the game doesn't let you. It is because you are actively being basically chained to the floor by the way the game is designed. I'll probably make a full, like, comprehensive video about this, but I've put hundreds of hours in this game, and yeah, I'm absolutely certain about my position on this game's mechanics, and perhaps look out for a detailed video in the future. So with that, I appreciate each and every one of you that made it to this point. I will be reading the comment section as I always do. Thank you guys so much. Hit the sub button if you enjoyed. Hit the like button. And of course, look out for the $650,000 tournament starting December 10th. I'll be live streaming that event all the way through, and I can't wait to see you guys there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.